So today's topic is a little bit different. This is something that I got from source, something I got from within. And this topic is called, do you have DNA, angelic or angelic DNA and demonic DNA within you? And you can call them from all source, meaning these beings are like from the same realm or same source type of thing. We're just naming them differently. And the thing is with our gifts, and by the way, this is entertainment purposes only, viewer advised. Not everybody can handle such information, and I don't expect everybody to get it, but only to those who can receive the information, do well with the information. Maybe this is confirmation to something you are already in the knowing of, or you're in the midst of knowing thyself, when you're understanding that you have both DNA. You have the angelic and you have the demonic DNA version of you. The demonic DNA version of you is just the shadow version of you, the lower version of you, the ego. And the angelic DNA version of you is the higher state of mind, the hierarchy. So yes, it's possible to have both and to be both, because then that becomes one angelic version of you is in a split ultimate reality, seeing and believing and beyond the version of you that is demonic. But then again, the thing that is demonic to you, what holds your power, is what's protecting you. And we built these characters based off of trauma, what was triggering us in our reality. Who was triggering us is not who we would consider our God or somebody, the creator of creating these beings out of us. They don't own anything within us, but they know how to trigger certain parts of our ability, whether for their own personal gain or for you to manifest something within your timeline so that they can walk through. And during these times when you are traveling as the angelic form of you or the demonic form of you, you don't necessarily stay within these codes for so long. You're constantly rebuilding a different angel of you, a different angle of you from a different realm, from a different time and space, with different knowledge and different information. How do you get those type of information out of you? Well, it's simply by not remembering, but allowing your lower consciousness, your lower self, remembering its higher consciousness, not you imagining what your higher consciousness looks like. So therefore, you getting taken away the freedom of what the true essence of imagination really is, because one version of you can see the future, and then the next version of you can see the problem or the solution to the future or to the past or to the present, and whichever form of you is being triggered out during that time of manifestation before you pre-existed, before you got here. This means that this program that you are in, this matrix that you are in, the things that you are experiencing and within the code of your DNA, when you're in your angelic light, when you're in your higher self state of mind versus your demonic, versus your shadow self, versus your ego, both of them are experiencing the same reality but different time, if it makes sense. Hi, welcome on in. But it's a little complicated for you to understand this in a human format. You have to go outside of one's mind. You have to go outside of oneself and inside of oneself, because when you go outside of oneself, you don't know if you're picking up the demonic version of yourself, because everything starts with from below to above, not as above to below. You can't get something good without the bad. You can't get something bad without the good. Something has to balance itself through the scale and be what the Libra, which is the human version of you who has to decide whether to be angelic or whether to be demonic, whether to be the angel or whether to be the demon. And depending on what situation you are in, if you're trying to be both, it's possible to be both, because you can see the good in people and you can also see the bad in people. And then with this power, you can actually call forces beyond time and space and continuum when you know your ancestors, because not every ancestor is good and not every ancestor is bad. You don't know where exactly in source your ancestors are living, and it's like, you know, don't try to think about what point of location they are from. It's on the internal location where you're trying to find them. And then in the internal location where your ancestors lies is in the solar plex, it's in the sun plex. It's where nothing is new underneath the sun comes out from the moon. One version of your ancestors is in the moon cycle of you, and then the other ancestors are in the sun cycle of you. And therefore, where you get the idea that there are two sides to one story, to one mask. There is an angelic form of you, and then there is a demonic form of you. How you use that power is totally up to your responsibility, because it's you unlocking everything within you from the surface. But I feel like sometimes we don't necessarily like have a choice but to be demonic in certain things, because we're experiencing extreme like pressure, extreme heat from the sun, that it does not matter how we look at our reality from a different perspective, whether we clean it out a little bit, make things look a little bit better, it's still all part of the plan, of the divine plan, for us to experience what we need to experience within this matrix like reality. But the thing is, the matrix keep feeding us false reality, what's false, what's closing us from understanding our angelic form and understanding our demonic form. Like we're not just human. We've been on this planet for billions of years, millions of years. We was other things besides this particular avatar. And I truly believe there was once a battle between good and evil, and I see that play out over and over throughout history. And we can also see it within the mind eye, how this battle between heaven and hell kind of like played out. And then some of the demonic like beings actually can switch over to being angelic. There was a point of time where certain archetypes have to choose between good and evil, meaning God did gave them a choice, meaning Source did gave them a choice. They didn't just stick to one particular DNA. Some beings chose both. Some beings, and I think those beings could be you and me. We chose both. We chose to be good and bad. We chose to use our power wisely, but at the same time, we was protected throughout our lives from child, since we was little, and a lot of us are starting to wake up from the angelic side, and some of us are waking up from the demonic side, the lower part of you that is your higher self, can be your higher self. It has a choice to become your higher self. Nothing is never truly stagnant. Something eventually moves when something gives it a spark to its own light. whether that is pain or pleasure, you are still experiencing something within that is just the human, the hue of you, H-U-E, the human, meaning the color, like the different aspects of you, the different dimensions, the different levels of you, that is hue, and then there is man. The man is the form of the image of godly, or the man and the woman is the goddess, or the creator, or the manifestor of the divine source. This is all part of one big old plan, is to bring forward consciously what we created from the past into the future. If you are reincarnated, this is your future. So when I mean by this is your future, this is something that you have manifested, that you have pre-existed, pre-planted, and you already lived it because you see it within your mind's eye. You already lived it. So therefore, when you're in these presence of your angelic or your demonic, the demonic version of you is going to tell you the outcome of what something bad is going to happen. And then the angelic form of you is going to tell you what is good, what is going to happen, and how to protect yourself. And there's a third party of you, if you can take a guess what that is. There's multiple versions of us in different realms and different reality throughout time and space and dimension. It's hard to keep up which reality that we truly want to live in and to be in the present moment of, because we are constantly creating, constantly manifesting, constantly desiring something, because something is either pushing in our will or pushing out of our will. And when we push in and when we push out, we become the ultimate manifester of our own time and reality. We don't let nothing outside or inside influence us. We just let ourselves, we let our energy, that's still inside. But energy is also outside. So whatever version of yourself you're looking at yourself in now, it's not the end and it's not the beginning. It is just the version of you now. You have not even begun to create the version of you in the beginning and the version of you in the end, because we can't end. We are energy. We are constantly creating every day. What we don't accomplish in this life, we can accomplish in the next life. That's why I tell myself, slow down, because all we're doing is racing to death. And some of us are comfortable with death. Some of us are comfortable going back to source. And those who are comfortable coming back to source and not fearing anything, then that means your root chakra is being lifted by your lotus flower, and it's being pumped out into the ether. And your ancestors are really, truly hearing you from all realms and all space and time and continuing. We don't stop at the end of death. We don't never do. Nothing in this world can make us, nothing in this world can take us out, and nothing in this world can take us in. It's only us who take us in and who take us out. At the same time, some of us, we have spirits who don't even want to be taken out. We keep continuing because we're just that powerful. It does not matter what we do. It does not matter how people treat us badly. It does not matter any of the norms may be. We still are deciding to choosing to be a part of this system, because we can see ourselves inside the system and outside of the system. The system is the matrix. The system is something that me and you have both created, but we cannot access our own system. Yes, the fuck we can, by being both, by being angelic and demonic. What is demonic? What is angelic to you? What's good? What's bad to you? Is it something that you can't describe? You describing it bad because you're making it bad. If you describe something that is just energy, it's just only going to be just energy. Something that is meant for the system, something that is meant for this planet, something that is meant for this dimension to be a part of, just like you and me. We are very intelligent creatures. We cannot be dumbed down. We cannot be controlled. Our soul cannot be sold. There is no such thing as selling one's soul. Documents, yeah, but selling one's soul, the internal level, no. So for any of you who think, oh, you can join the Illuminati, the Freemasonry, be like, oh, I'm just going to sell my souls. There's levels to it, because your ancestors not going to let you allow you to sell your soul. One thing. Instead, what it's going to do is going to teach you the rituals and things that they have gone through to the extreme pressure for you to walk through. But there's your own type of pressure. And you're going to be able to access certain things, certain abilities through your own power and will by observing your own ancestors. Some of your ancestors might have chosen to be angelic. Some of your ancestors might have chosen to be demonic. It all depends on how you look at it. Nothing is truly demonic unless you make it demonic. Everything is really just energy and what is purposely being divine by source, or designed to be divine by source, if it makes sense. And we can travel through their subconscious and their unconscious, because they're doing the exact same to us by imagining them doing exactly what they did. And then to order to know certain entities, certain deities, all you have to do is just imagine yourself as them. And then you can start to see how they live once in this realm. Meaning they're existing in a different realm just like this one, but the totally opposite ultimate reality. It's ultimate because it's more. They're not limited. We're only limited by space and time because of our government and what's been pushed out to our program to stop us from believing what we have left in our subconscious or in our unconsciousness that we was first brought here with pure. That's what I say, the power in your mind, the world that's inside of your mind, it's much realer than the world that it is in of your reality, because what you perceive of your reality might just be an illusion of what it is that you're getting. You're only getting 20% of the vision and not just all. Why not ask your ancestors, give me 100% of the vision? Give me everything that I desire. Give me everything that I wanted and need. Meaning you're giving up them to show them what you need and want. Not what it is that you're seeing within the human eye, but what it is that you are desiring, wanting in the mind's eye, in the third eye. So you have to go from below to above. As above, so below. Darkness and light. It's not only in the moment of your darkness do you see your light, but it's also in the moment of your chaos do you see your darkness with your light. When you see your darkness with your light in the moment of chaos, you are actually discovering equilibrium. You're discovering something that is good. It might be bad to some other people, some outsider people, but don't let them demonic you or call you demonic, because your power and your gift is not demonic. Everybody has a gift. There's no such thing as just one person who has one gift, but we all have all gifts. And each one of us sees reality very different. And that's a good thing, because you don't want too many people seeing the same thing, because then that becomes a lie. You want somebody else who can see something totally different outside of themselves and inside of themselves, what's happening inside of the world and outside of the world, what can match the vibration from above and what can match the vibration from below, and what can match the vibration within. And when you sit with self and when you recognize thyself, the ego becomes spirit, the spirit becomes the soul, which then becomes the sun and the moon and the stars and above. Then you can create whatever world and whatever reality that you choose to exist in that present moment. But remember, there are multiple versions of you desiring a lot of different things and different realities. So talk to all versions of you, the angelic version of you and the demonic version of you. And put things where they need to fit so that they can align up to its highest good. Imagine yourself in a football field. It's just like that. But anyway, that was just part 1. I'll come back with part 2 later. Bye.